What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I want to give a huge shout out to you guys. We started this channel about a month ago and we already have 95 subscribers, so it doesn't seem like a lot compared to the bigger guys, but we'll eventually get there. Thank you for supporting us and what we do. So if you didn't see our last video, basically what we're doing is cutting out the old floor in a 78 Camaro, and we're installing a 70 to 73 trunk pan into our 78 Camaro, because we got a fuel cell over there and this is nice and flat, and the old floor was not flat, had a big old hump right here and came down, didn't have any really room to mount it. So go check that video out, and then what we're gonna do today is clean up all these edges, all the rough cuts, figure out this structure right here, and then what we're gonna do is trim up that trunk pan to where it'll fit in here, and then we'll get everything mocked up, screw it in, then we'll weld it in, and then we'll be prepping it for a bed liner. All right, so we're gonna trim up the new trunk pan, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take small bits off, probably the corners on either side, and then same thing back here. That way I can get it into the trunk, into the car, and then see how it's gonna line up and see what else I need to trim around it and see, you know, just how it's gonna fit and everything like that. So I'll set the camera up and you guys can watch me struggle cutting this thing up and then fighting with it to put it in the car. Tell you what, guys, this stuff is dirty. Now it looks pretty rough, I'm not gonna lie, but we got the basic shape done, and right now where the old fuel filler neck would go, it's kind of giving me some issues. It wants to bow a little bit. That's not a big deal, I can work past that. But where I'm missing some metal here, the whole tray's got to slide back about an inch and a half, so that'll make up for the room. But overall, once I give it a little push, I still got to take a little bit off on the actual car side itself, and then it should fall kind of right into place. But actually it's looking pretty dang good so far, so definitely not a nice clean job, but it's got to be done. So I'll keep cutting, keep trimming, and make it fit. All right, guys, so we got this holes welded up, and also, like I was mentioning before, how this side is lower than this side was, I had to cut it out and then put some new patch panels in there, and I seam sealed it, so now it fits great. Got everything cleaned up, everything's all grinded down. Had to take out some more material on the car side just to make it fit. Got this lip, kind of had to shave that down just a little bit to make the pan fit a lot better. So pan is also prepped. Just took a little bit of the coating off around the edges for welding. It's not necessary, you can weld through it, but I just figured why not, it won't hurt. And as you can see, guys, the new trunk pan fits pretty good, other than some gaps in here. We'll have to fill that in with some sheet metal, not a big deal. It tended out being more different than I thought it was going to be, so if you do this, prepare to make more cuts and panels and patches than you expected. So not a big deal, patch it up, we'll make it look flawless, and it's going to look great once it's done, and it's going to serve us very well. That's the main point of this, is it's gonna be for our application better than the 78. We needed to fix some rust, we needed a flat floor pan, and we went ahead and just did the whole trunk swap. So, you know, everything's gonna fit nice. We'll weld it up tomorrow and hopefully get this thing finished up. All right, guys, so we got all the trimming, the cutting, some grinding, and now what we're gonna do is go ahead and take some self-tappers, some tech screws, self-tappers, whatever the heck you want to call them, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put them in a few various places just to hold the pan down, because as you can see there is a little bit of, I guess, spring back to it. So what we'll do is we'll hold it down, make sure nothing's gonna move while we weld it, and then once we weld it up, take them out and then plug those holes up with some weld. All right, guys, got the new trunk panel welded up, and came out pretty good. Some spots the welds were a little rough just because of you know, excess paint or something like that I did not get off in the beginning. So like I said, we're still gonna have to patch up these sides right here where we had to notch the second skin underneath. So we'll have to make some panels for that. But other than that, you know, I mean, these welds came out pretty dang good. So the ESAB 235 EMP is kicking butt. So I mocked up the fuel cell just to show you guys what we were gonna do. We still got to put a battery either left or right side, probably right side, or maybe even left side. I'm not even sure. So we're gonna see. But I got it sitting on a little spacer right now, so it's a little higher than what it's actually gonna be. We're gonna have to space out these feet from the bottom. Probably use some type of aluminum tube or something like that just to get it up about an inch and a half to clear the sump, because we don't plan on running a inline pump with the lines. So we're going to try to use intake pumps, maybe 2 Hellcat pumps, maybe 3, we don't know yet. So but when we get to that road, you know, we'll eventually figure it out. But it looks pretty good so far. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I know we still got some more welding, some more filler panel to do. So what we'll do next week is we'll get that all buttoned up, and then we'll start doing some body work. So making everything smooth, grind down all the welds, stuff like that, finish up on the dash, and then move on to the next project. So we're gonna try to get the car up on the rotisserie here shortly, so that way we can do the underside of the car and then send it out, put the rear end, suspension, put the subframe on, and then send it out to go get that cage done. So if you haven't already, make sure you go and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future uploads. So next week we got some more welding, body panels, some body filler, things like that. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.